So this video is starting off a little bit different. Tire plug kit, right? Oh, I'm gonna fall down this right there. There's the goo. Oh, my shirt, my arms covered up. I was getting ready to go bush hog. That's the property. With BellLife Vlogs, we're back. That's the subject. Want to tell them the subject, Amy? So you want to tell them the subject?
Touchy subject. I got bird poop on my car. I can't go get it washed. I'm kidding. It's such a...
Why can't you go get it washed?
Because I have dry rot on both of my front tires. We don't know what's going on with it. I had a flat. Justin plugged it, and then there's so many issues with the tire that it just keeps. I don't know.
Want me to explain it to him?
Yeah, that's probably better. Here. I'll hold the phone and point it at you, your face.
So how long have you had it? 8 months?
Yeah, we bought it in October.
October. So when we got it, if y'all remember that video, if not, maybe we should put that video in the description.
Yeah. Well, we got it mid-October because we bought it and then they had it for a couple of weeks.
That's what we're gonna say when we went and looked at it. This is used. It's a 2020. It had 20,000 miles on it.
Yeah.
It had 20,000 miles on it. It was surprisingly a guy that had it before us. Right.
I don't know where you say it that way.
Both mirrors were scratched. There was dents and dings all over it. Every wheel is curbed, or was curbed, right?
Mm-hmm.
Every wheel was curbed. I think this other tire over here, on this side, this tire was, this tire had a gash out of the sidewall.
Yeah.
So big you could get a baseball in it. So when we were getting the car, like I said, we got it used. Last year, so it was, how old was it when we got it last year?
It was 2 years old. It's 2020.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it was 2 years old, and we go out with the sales guy and the sales manager, is that who it was?
Mm-hmm.
And went through and made a list of everything that was wrong with the car that we didn't like, right?
Yeah.
So we got, you know, the mirrors, the scratches on the back bumper, the wheels were curbed, all the stuff I just said. And we're marking all this, a couple interior spots. Where's that at?
Yeah, they fixed it.
A couple interior spots. There was cuts in the interior, blah, 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 everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we go back 2 weeks later. Is that how long it was?
Yeah, about a week probably.
Go back a week later, and surprisingly, this thing was in the showroom with a bow on it, and it looked brand new.
Yeah, it looked good.
They did a really good job of cleaning everything up. So, what was the first problem that we had?
The mirror.
Okay.
We were on our way to your grandma's funeral and the mirror just fell out.
Correct. The passenger side mirror glass, the glass just fell out of the mirror. So you think, well, you know, we hit something with it or whatever. It had been done before us because the glass part, I was looking at it, had been glued back into the housing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, how much was that supposed to be from Range Rover? Like $1,000 for the mirror?
Yeah, some kind of
It's
crazy.
like $1,100 or $1,200 for the mirror, and then they wanted like another $1,000 to install it or whatever. So it was gonna be ridiculous. So, but we took it back up there and they fixed it.
Yeah, they covered it.
They covered it. So, so when we got this thing, it has a 2-year bumper-to-bumper warranty.
Right.
So when we got it, you know, everybody says Range Rovers. This is basically a Ford Escape.
Right, an entry level, yeah.
Yeah, is what it is. This is basically so. When we got it, everybody says don't buy a Range Rover because of the, you know, they break down all the time or whatever. But mechanically, so far,
she's sound.
There's a few problems with it. That's what hopefully this video everything gets fixed. But so far, Range Rover's done a really good job for us.
Yeah. Customer service wise, they've been great.
A really good job. So over the winter, Amy had a low tire light. Remember that? Mm-hmm. Had a low tire light, and it was this front right tire.
Right.
And
that they patched.
And I didn't really pay attention to it or whatever, so I kept putting there. It was a slow leak. We took it up there. It took them how long to patch it? It took them a long time.
One guy tried to patch it. He couldn't get it done. The guy come out and said that they were thinking about replacing it.
So keep this in mind, why it took so long to patch this. And I didn't pay attention to any of this stuff because when it's under a 2-year bumper-to-bumper warranty, they fix everything. I know obviously it doesn't cover tires and brakes and wear and tear items. I understand that, but I just didn't really look at the tires and I didn't really pay attention. Well, did I say that earlier? They replaced this tire?
Yes, you did.
So, okay, so they did replace this tire. That was a brand new tire. And then the other side tire actually looks like 90% or 80% wear. So
yeah,
it's really weird.
It's good.
But another key feature about this thing is these are 21s. The tire size is a 245 45 R21. And there's only one manufacturer tire that makes tires for these wheels. And you know what those are? Pirellis. There's only one manufacturer that makes that tire size. So we got a, actually, shout out to Lee's Tires up in Taylor Mill, Kentucky. He's actually used to live 3 houses down from when I was born all the way up, but he's got a tire shop up here locally, and we take all our stuff up there to have it, you know, tires plugged, tractor tires fixed, and all that kind of stuff. I went up there the other day. Well, I'm jumping all over the place.
Yeah,
I need to explain what's going on here. So this low tire, so it took them forever to get it patched, right? So I still didn't pay attention to it. Something else started happening. A light came on the dash saying something about suspension.
Yeah.
It says something about suspension needed checked or whatever. And then Amy sends me a video. It's leaking somewhere because it's leaking water through, right?
Yeah.
So your lights, water was coming through.
It's leaking right here. It's leaking right here.
You know what?
Because it's coming through.
Going in there?
Yeah, because it's coming through. You can see where it's coming through. There's like a water spot on the inside of the car.
Okay. Well, so that's news. The suspension and the water thing. Well, then like a week ago, Amy sends me a picture, low tire light. So it's the left front. So I'm like, okay, I don't feel like looking at this. So I go up to Lee's, and he's getting the bubbles out, and he looks, and Lee's an old hillbilly. He said, man, these tires are shot. And I'm like, what? They're really that? I mean, we were planning on, obviously, we're going to get rid of this thing within, how long do we have? A year and a half left?
Yeah.
About a year and a half left, because I don't want to keep it with no kind of warranty. And I'm like, but I also didn't know how much these tires were. And I'm like, well, you know, I don't really like replacing 2 tires and 1 tire. No, I'd like just to get all 4 OCD, all 4 new tires.
We're not doing that.
Well, so we looked, and the one tire is $510, and that came right across Lee's computer at his price. So obviously he would charge more than that, but $510 for 1 tire. So it would be over
$1,000 for just the tires.
$2,050 just for tires for this thing, right?
For 4, you mean?
Yeah, I'm like, oh my gosh. So look at the rear. This rear one it's got 5,000 miles on it. The car's got 25,000 miles on it now. The other tire is like 80%, and these front 2, come up here and show them this. So this is
you might have to take over here.
So this is the dry rot we're talking about. You see, right in there in that crack, there's dry right there, dry right there. So it doesn't look that bad on it, but there's dry rot all over it. And can't really show you that. No, that's my finger. Can't show you this, but get back a little bit like this. Oh. The tread is the front tires are shot. So we're looking for the leak.
And they just, like, I can just peel that off. So weird.
This is a 2020. These tires are date coded 2019, so it's obviously a 2020. These came with the car, so I'm like, what? So he's like, I can't find a leak. So I'm like, okay. Well, I come home, get the pump out, pump it up, and it that night it did okay. We checked it a couple hours later. Came out the next morning, it was like this. It was on the rim, flatter than crap, right? So I'm like, okay. So I pump it up and find a leak. I'm like, oh, there's a leak right here. So I plugged it right here with the plug, just to, because obviously the point of these tires was just to get us by until fall, and then we're gonna do 4 new tires. Well, so I plug it, and then I'm mowing. Amy stops me and she's like, hey, come here, and look at this. So
he's gonna pump it up. It might take him a second to pump it up so you can hear the.
Go ahead and show you that. So I was mowing, and she's like, hey, come over here and look at this. And I'm like, what? So I just plugged it like 2 hours before that, right?
We're gonna pause and come back.
So it won't take that long. So I just plugged it like 2 hours before that, and I walk over to it, and there's air hissing out. I'm like, what the heck is going on? And turns out that plug, there wasn't anything in the tire. That was leaking out of a dry rot crack. So it's almost like tires have been on a freaking trailer. It's been sitting out for 20 years that are dry rot. It doesn't make any sense. So I come back, it's leaking out of another dry rot crack. So I'm like, I don't know if you all, you all have to know this is not normal. This is a 2020. These tires are 3 years old, and it's literally leaking out of the dry rot crack, which is...
You can hear it over the thing.
There. Any bubbles? I don't have any bubbles, do you?
I don't have any
You gotta
bubbles.
show what we're looking at.
Sorry, I was trying to see if it's on that crack right there.
You have any bubbles?
Well, they can hear it.
It's right here. So the air is going up right here.
Just plug it with your finger. Plug it. Oh, it's just a big...
It's all over. See this? There's nothing under this.
No, it's just...
But look, the tire's just falling apart in pieces.
Do it again. I don't know if I got that. I mean, you should never be able to take a piece of rubber and pull it off.
So, but you can see the dry rot cracks everywhere, showing that all over there. It doesn't, it's just falling apart, right? So I'm like, well.
Which is crazy because anybody who know Pirelli, it's a good tire brand.
So we call Range Rover, and the sales manager basically says, well, tires can get dry rot or whatever. He didn't understand that this tire's 3 years old. It's not like it's 30 years old.
Well, I think in his defense, I think he was thinking he was talking to just a normal female that doesn't know anything. And I'm
they probably
40.
get a lot of calls from a lot of stupid girls and guys, because there's guys that don't know what a screwdriver
Right.
is, and there's girls. But what I'm getting at is he think that's not normal. You know
No.
what I mean? That is not the Dodge. That would mean the Ram down there is a 2021. Next year, those tires should be dry rotted. Okay, let's go show those tires.
Okay.
So in 1 year, these tires on this truck should look like that, right?
Well, we should show Alyssa's tires, which are Pirellis that we had put on 5 years ago. Or 6 years ago.
See, a little bit of look. You see that right there?
That's the surface stuff.
But these tires got 30.
More than my car.
32,000 miles on them.
Right.
These tires get 30, and they're not even. I'd say there's 40-50% left on that. I'd say there's another. I'd say probably within 10,000 miles we need it. Probably by fall we'll have to get tires for the trucks, but I'm just tires don't like here's mud tires. You know what I mean? You guys. Just it would already start showing signs of dry rot. It's just really
Right.
weird. I don't know if that was a bad batch from Pirelli. I don't know if there's a recall on those tires from Pirelli. Maybe there was a recall, but it's just weird. But the main reason, is obviously the front two tires, but the water leak, and then what was the other thing? The suspension.
Yeah, the
Suspension fault.
Right.
And then other than that, we just wanted to bring you all along for it because they're actually sending a rollback.
Right.
They're sending a rollback, and they're going to come and pick it up. So they're already doing right by us. They're sending a rollback to pick it up, and obviously you can just throw the spare on it, but and have her drive it up there. But honestly, the dealership's about 45 minutes away from here, and you don't really feel safe with putting a woman and your kid in the car with the 2 leaks within 2 hours. Who's to say? I won't have
a blowout.
A chunk of tire's not going to rip out, and they're going to flip going down the highway. You know what I
Right.
mean? It's not really the safest thing. Let's go show them tires on that car.
Do you remember we bought the Scion from my sister when, Justin? Do you remember when?
Probably
18 or 19?
18 or 19, I guess.
And we had the tires put on right after we bought it.
I don't know how many miles are on these tires, but look at this. There's better tread on these things than there are on your car.
Right.
You see the little bit of surface. I mean, it's not, and obviously a 19-year-old girl has this car now, so it's been curbed a lot, but these are 225, 45, 18s, and Pirellis.
Right.
Dude.
And I mean, there's no way you could pull a chunk of that off, though. Like,
No, you can't. I mean, look at the tread on them. I mean, they've been rotated every 5,000 miles too, so just general maintenance. But I'm gonna say it again, commenting down below, but that is not normal. I mean, maybe on a trailer tire, on a boat trailer that's been sitting outside for 5 or 6 years, yeah, that's normal. That's why they say replace boat trailer tires every 4 to 5 years, even if they still have 100% of the tread left on them, because they dry rot.
right.
So this thing's been sitting outside for 3 years, so it doesn't mean...
Probably not even that long. We've only had it 8 months, and the owner before us probably had it garage kept.
So the main thing with this video is, you know, that, and when they patched that tire over there, we said, you know, all these tires have been curbed. Well, when they patched that, when we got the car, they had everything touched up. But when they patched it, they re-curbed all the wheels, putting they patched it from the inside over there on that one, and they had such a horrible time patching it. Well, I'm like, what takes them so long to patch a tire? That's why, because I bet you there's 5 or 6 patches on the inside of that tire, is what it is.
Yeah.
To get it to stop leaking.
Right.
So, and that's what it is with this. You know, obviously, you know, that's not the correct way to plug it. You pull the tire off and patch it from the inside. But who's to say if they patch this one and patch the new leak, that in 2 days, another one's not going to happen.
Yeah.
And then obviously, I know this isn't a wear and tear deal, and I wouldn't care if Amy had 60,000 miles on the car and the tires were worn out. Yeah, that would make sense, but it's just the dry rot part that doesn't make any sense. But we're also not expecting stuff for free either. I completely understand that, but I just want to see what they think about this, because I think it's crazy. Well, you?
Yeah, I do.
So, but so far, Land Rover and Cincinnati, Ohio have done an awesome job for us.
Yeah, they've been very respectful.
So, you guys saw the original videos when she got this, so you actually, I think we have all the scratches and stuff on this channel somewhere. So go check that out when we got this car. But I guess the next clip we'll see is they're putting it on a rollback and taking it back to Range Rover, and we'll see what happens.
Yep.
Thanks.
Well, he's loading it up. Oh, it's flat. She wasn't on the rim, she is now. Oh, it hurts my soul. Maybe he needs a run and start. I don't know what's going on here. Load it up.
Sammy, what do you think about the service?
It's wonderful.
We get it back nice.
I'm a little aggravated. It doesn't have a valve stem.
We get it back nice and dirty too. No valve stem cover. So we got to go over a couple things to catch you all up to date. No, they don't have any on this one either. There's no valve stem caps.
Really?
But we are at, what is this? Range Rover, Land Rover of what? Blue Ash, Cincinnati, Ohio. So we'll go over everything when we get back.
Yeah. Hi guys, so it's me. Justin was like, you gotta add something to the video. So I'm gonna input this before the last clip, which you'll already know because you're watching the video. I just got off the phone with a higher up manager. Rich was super nice guy. He was extremely understanding. I probably should have talked with him sooner. just because I think that the situation was not a normal situation. It was it was just a weird situation. The tires being dry rotted, the vehicle only being 3 years old. It just wasn't right. Like, something just wasn't right. I after speaking with Rich and, you know, had a great conversation with him, explained to him what had happened. He watched the video that was sent to me about the vehicle, and he offered us actually an additional $500 refund for the tires, which I think is stellar. I am very grateful for. I definitely have a different mindset on when I go and purchase a vehicle, when it is used, making sure that there isn't issues like this. This has never happened before with me. I've never had to, you know, replace tires almost immediately after buying a certified vehicle. And I am grateful that he is willing to work with us on that. And, you know, $457 is a whole lot better than, you know, almost $1,000. So thank you, Rich. I hope you guys are watching this, and we do appreciate everything y'all have done for us. You know, Justin's going to go on to explain, and he didn't know about this when he ended this video, and he didn't really say anything. He just was saying that he wasn't super happy. And it is true, we weren't super happy before the phone call with Rich on how this all turned out. Again, we appreciate everybody at Range Rover. Thank you so much for trying to make this right and speaking to me about it. That goes a long way. So I'm not going to ramble on anymore. I'm going to let you guys get on to the video. Hope you all enjoyed it. Bye.
All right, teleported back to the house, back where it originally went down. So here's the rundown. We have a 2022 tire. That's the tire that they replaced when we got the car. It had a chunk of the sidewall missing out of it. They said, we'll replace that. Well, they replaced that one in November of last year. Have two new front tires. I'll get to that in a second. There's a new one. And there's a new one. Brand new. Date code is right there. 30th week of 2022, I guess. And then here is the original tire. Where's its date code at? 4720. And the tread depth is unbelievable how good it is. I mean, there's like 70% left on that thing. So here's the shakedown. The windshield, the water leak, they say they have to replace the whole windshield, but the windshield is back ordered. So they said to come get the car because the windshield's back ordered. I said, okay. So there's that thing. It wasn't a really great experience this time, not gonna lie, from Range Rover. It's not washed. There's a valve stem cap missing. It was like $960 for the front two tires installed. The suspension part was, we didn't go over, I don't think, I'm trying to figure out if we went over this or not. There was a, you can kind of see it, I think. You can't really see it. There's a, there you go, right there. That orange wire right there goes to a piece of the suspension in here. That wire was broken. So they had to replace that wiring harness. Also what happened was when the car got to Range Rover, the technician sent a video explaining that the front two tires were basically worn out, blah, blah, blah. And just kind of at a loss for words. I want you all to honestly answer if you had a vehicle that's 3 years old, the tires were 3 years old, literally leak from a dry rot crack. Not from a nail being in the tire or a bolt being in the tire or the sidewall slit or any of that kind of stuff. From literally dry rot. Because I have never seen that before on a vehicle. Maybe on a trailer tire, you know, maybe on a trailer tire that's been sitting out for 5 or 6 years. But a 3-year-old tire, and And the same 3-year-old tire is on the back that's still original to the car. And the front two were literally falling apart. So we kind of explained that to the you know, a couple of the people at the location. And they're like, yeah, it really doesn't make sense to us, you know, either. But I don't know, I'm just not really excited about the situation. It wasn't very cool. So now we got 2 brand new tires on the front, a tire with 5,000 miles on the back, and an original tire back here on the driver's side. So my OCD doesn't like that either. So it's kind of a terrible experience. You know, they rebalanced the wheels, and they left some residue from the old or whatever you want to call it on the wheel. You know, they didn't even get that off. I don't know. It's not washed. It's another thing with the, you know, the windshield leaking is, you know, it doesn't stay in a garage here. It stays outside, so it's literally going to leak inside on the, you know, on the dash of the car. You know, they don't have any loaners available. But like I was talking to Trey on the way back, Trey's truck went to Beachmont Ford last year for something. I can't remember what it was, a recall or something. They didn't have any loaners to give out. They actually rented us a car from Enterprise to drive around. I think it was a Expedition or something like that. The only reason I remember is because was it me and Amy driving? I can't remember. We had money sitting on the center console, and we closed it, and it actually sucked the money into the dash. And they actually had to take the dash apart to get, and it wasn't like $5. It was like a couple $100. So but you know, it was just a lot better experience there. And our first experience, like I said over and over and over, was awesome with them. But this one wasn't the best. It's severely aggravating. I've just never seen a tire, you know, obviously these are brand new. I've never seen a tire do that. But I seriously want to know your all's comments. Have you had a tire do that before? 3 years old with 25,000 miles on it. And here is the same tire. You see a little bit of, I mean, I would call that normal. You know what I mean? I mean, just a little bit, nothing crazy at all. I mean, this thing's got 70% left, but it still aggravates me. This tire's 3 years old now. We got brand new tires everywhere else, and the freaking tires are so expensive. They did give us a discount on the tires because $957 installed from the place I checked before, Lee's. They were like $510 a piece just for the tires. So they did give us a discount, so we'll commend them on that. You know, Land Rover, they're in Blue Ash in Cincinnati, Ohio. But I don't know, it almost seems like a Pirelli issue. You know, it's the Scorpion Zero, whatever size these are, 245, 45 R21s. So anybody out there watching that has these tires, have you ever had any problems out of them? Or if you know somebody that works at Pirelli, it's just weird. I think Pirelli either had a bad batch or something. And the only thing that sucks is, you know, it's $1,000 for 2 tires. But I would understand if the tires were worn out or the sidewall was slit for a normal wear and tear item, you know, reasons, not a tire literally falling apart. It's just a weird deal. But anyways, I like to have videos a little bit nicer than this, but this one just kind of just sucked a little bit. So, but it's back. Go ahead and get it washed and go from there. But thank you all a ton for support. We do appreciate it. Didn't know this was going to turn into this type of video, so try to end it on a happy note. If you want to smile, go check out the BellLife Bangs YouTube channel, or check us out on TheBellLife.com. And if you want to hear us answer some questions, go to Ask the BellLife. All the links will be in the description below. Appreciate you all. Thank you, and we'll see you on the next one. Man, that sucks.